Good morning, my name is Diego Rincon. Today I'm going to be talking about Venezuela and the crisis that is going on in Venezuela. So, Venezuela is a country located in South America. It faces the North Caribbean by the north, it faces the Caribbean Sea by the south, it shares borderline with Brazil by the east, shares borderline with Colombia, and by the west with Guyana. Venezuela has approximately 32,700,368 people, with 300,878 million barrels of proven reserves. Venezuela has the largest amount of proven oil reserves in the world, which is equivalent to $1.1 million per person, which means that Venezuela could be a rich country. Everyone would earn 1 million by doing nothing, only because the reserve that we have. So how everything started. In 1999, Hugo Chavez was elected as the president of Venezuela. With his idea of communism, he wanted to make a change in the country. He promised to end the poverty in the country. He also promised to support foreign private investments, but nothing worked. After his first period as the president of Venezuela, the population realized that they made a huge mistake by selecting him as the president. The inflation rate was uncontrollable. The violence was increasing every day to the point that Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, was ranked as the most dangerous city and the most violent city to live in the world. Also, the closure and expropriations by the government of private companies was unstoppable. The country started buying companies, expropriating, which means they just buy it because they want to buy it, and they just give you a price because you're in the Venezuelan territory. So they just take it away from you, and they just give you whatever they want to give you. If they want to give you $2 million for the company, they just give you $2 million. So that was happening a lot. Huge companies like Johnson and Johnson, Coca-Cola, Pepsi left the country. So in 2010, President Chavez declared an economy war because the increasing shortages in Venezuela, because of the expropriation that I just talked about of the private companies by the government. The companies started to leave the country, which was the main cause of food and first necessity products shortages to start. So by that point, when I was still living there, it was hard to find food. It was hard to find toilet paper, toothpaste, like basic stuff, like first necessity products. So in March of 2013, Chavez died and Nicolás Maduro took the lead as the president of Venezuela. At this point, Venezuela and its people were suffering more and more every day. In 2015, the inflation rate was over 100%. That's the highest in the world and the highest in the history of Venezuela. While the poverty rate was nearly over 80% of the population. 80% of the population, that's a huge number. Almost everyone living in Venezuela was living under poverty conditions. Here's a graph where I show the population on the poverty line. It shows from 1999 to like 2004. It increased a little bit. It came from 43 to 53%, and then it went down. I'm not gonna lie, Chavez kind of helped a little bit with the poverty situation. He was building houses, giving people like option payments, so they can pay the houses in a long term loan and stuff like that. So it came down from 2004 from 53% to 2013 it went down to 29%. And when Nicolás Maduro took the lead in 2013, it just went straight up, unstoppable. 2014 it was 48%, 2015 73%, 2016 82%, 2017 87%. Nowadays the poverty rate is around 90%, which means everyone is struggling to live in Venezuela. So there is a humanitarian crisis going on. Food and medication shortages, scarcity, unstoppable inflation rate. It is never enough. It doesn't matter how much money you make, you will never have enough to even feed your family, which is leading to the increase of violence, looting, and robbery. People is desperate. They're going out of the street, they're killing, they're robbing, they're doing whatever to keep their kids alive, you know? Children are dying every day because of starvation and malnutrition. Migrations to all over the world. I have family members right now in Chile, Colombia, Spain. I'm here, my parents are here. Everyone is just migrating all over the place. So, because of that, Venezuelan population is getting tired of it already, and Venezuelans are fighting for freedom. Everyone has been going out to the streets to fight, to defend, to fight for a new Venezuela, for a new country, to fight for food, for medicine. People is just dying. I was just talking to my grandmother like 2 months ago, and she told me that they didn't have power for almost 27 days straight, no electricity. So imagine, people is struggling to find food, to find their proteins, to find the meat, and then when they find it, you can't even keep it in the fridge because there is no electricity, there is anything, nothing's working. So sadly, Venezuela is going through a situation right now that not everyone knows what it is. In the news, they don't show everything. It's very bad and it's unstoppable. Venezuela is living under a corrupt government condition, and it's very sad. So I hope you learned something from Venezuela. Thank you so much.